Hi guys, I'm your instructor. I'm going to tell you about about the data science, and I'm going to instruct you about the Python also. Let's start the session over here. So first, I'll discuss what is data science and what we need to learn over here to become a data scientist. Fine. And to learn the data science, what are the technologies and what I need to be, how I'm going to move towards the Python while learning the data science. Let's understand the stuff over here. So first, when I'm saying the data science, the word comes is called data. So what is data? Data is nothing but whatever the daily work we do, daily things what we will do, we will gather that points. Fine. So when I'm saying about the data is nothing but whatever the collecting, we are collecting the data from an Excel sheet, we are saying out, we are getting from e-commerce application. All these things are nothing but called the data. But this data is very huge, and this data we cannot manipulate, and we cannot work on that point. So for what we require, for that we require a science. So what basically science will do, the science is going to explore the data, and I'm going to take the meaningful result from it. That is what called data science. Fine. Now let's understand. So availability career in the data science are, you can be a data analyst, you can become a data scientist, and you can become a data engineer. So what we required, first we have to get the data, the information. Fine. And then we have to understand we have to extract the knowledge from it. Fine. Let's understand the part. So earlier, before, we have a data, and this data in the structured format. Now the structured format, it will be in Excel format or in another database of it will be in a story to data in the table structured form. Now this data, to explore this data, to work on this data, we have a different type of tools are available. But nowadays, when I'm just considering out, now we are discussing about huge amount of data, which means it is nothing but called in quantiles. Now there is an expectation, there is a, like we can say, like per day we are generating 2.5 contain bytes. Now it's a huge amount of data, and it is a prediction in 2021 each person will generate 1.7 MB per day. You can't imagine, that is a huge amount of data which I'm discussing right now. And this data may be in the structured and unstructured or semi-structured format. Now at this moment, these tools will not work. This old tools like BI cannot process it to get the useful insights from it. So for that, we have to go for a, like unstructured data, we have to go for a data science. Understand the point? Now when I'm coming for key elements of the data science, now to key elements, first what we need to learn to become a data science, first you have to be good in statistics part, then you have to go for an analyzing part, you have to be good in analyzing. Fine. Then you have to learn the machine algorithms, and then you have, while for to do this operation, you have to be good in programming part, and then you only become a data scientist. Fine. Now the question is, what is a life cycle of data science? But before discussing this life cycle of the data science, first I want to make you to understand what are the technologies you need to learn for a data science. First, to good in data science, you have to learn over here is Python. Fine. To learn a Python, what I can do is, if you learn the Python, tomorrow you can move for a framework application. Fine. If you can move for a you can move for array formats, you can move for a statistics part, you can go for a data forms, you can go for a visualizations. Now this is used for EDA, exploratory data analysis. Fine. You can in the future move for a machine learning, you can move for a deep learning, you can move for artificial intelligence. If you learn that Python, you can go for a cloud. Now what you will do in the cloud to become a solution architect? If you know Python, you can move for an IoT, you can go for a big data, and you can learn another framework is called PySpark over here. So number of opportunities are available if you learn the Python. So first let's understand what is a life cycle of data science. Fine. And then we'll go in the depth of that concepts also. So first is, if you want to be in the life cycle of data science, first you need to gather a requirement. That is nothing but called business requirement. Fine. Let's check over here. So first is a business requirement. Fine. Then we have to go for a data acquisition. Then we have to go for a data processing, then data exploration, modeling, and deployment. Fine. Let's understand one by one each and everything. The first is, we have a business requirement. Now, when I'm saying the business required, what is the requirement over here is to understand the problem, to identify the control objectives, and to identify variables need to be predicted. Now, what is the meaning over here? It is So first we have to understand the problem. What is the exact problem? And then we have to differentiate between variables and the object. Now after understanding the variables and object, now we have to analyze what need to predict. Understand the point? Next, we have over here data acquisition. Now over here, we will understand what I need from my project, what are the data sources, the most efficient way to store an excess of all it, and what I can obtain from this data. Now, the easy point to understand is we are going to get only the useful data from it. Now, example, what is the meaning of useful data from it? Suppose you are going to your office. Fine, this is your office, and you need to go to your office. There are two ways, way A and way B. Fine. Now, daily you are going to your office at 10 a.m. But suddenly you have to reach at 9 a.m. Now, what are you going to do? It first, while daily you are while going to your office, you have seen a lot of traffics. Now you have that data in your mind. Fine. In your mind, you have that data. Now, from that data, you will analyze. There will be a number of buses. Fine. Bus will have a colors also. They will have a tires also. Number of students are sitting inside. Then there will be a different type of cars. The brand of the car, color of the car, designs of the car. There will be a number of motorbikes over there. How many people are sitting? Taxis, auto. You will have all this data. Now, what you're going to do is from that you are going to filter the data, useful data. Now, what is the useful data? You don't require color of the bus. You don't require the color of the car, the brand of that one. You require the quantity of stuff. Getting my point? So from that data acquisition, we are going to filter the data. We are going to get the useful data. Fine. The next point. In the next point, we are understanding over here. We have the next is data processing. Now, what do you mean by data processing? Over here, we have a transformation data into desired format. Now, what is the meaning of it? Now, you are lucky if you have a data in the pack format. Fine. And if you don't have, and to get the meaningful data, it is very difficult and it takes a lot of efforts on it. If the data is stored into a database, then it is easy to retrieve the data by using some structured queries. Fine. If data is not present in that, or it is not present for you, then what you need to do is you have to perform a scrapping and convert into desired form. Now, over here we have a data cleaning. Now, basically, we are not discussing about kilobytes or something. Over here we are discussing about terabytes. Fine. Now, when I'm saying the huge amount of data, earlier before we used to discuss about like kilobytes. Then we are moving to the megabytes, gigabytes. Then we are going for a terabytes, petabytes, exabyte, zettabyte, yottabyte, quantabyte. Now, there's a huge amount of data when I'm discussing over it. So over here, I'm saying I'm discussing about terabytes. Fine. So when it is to perform the data cleaning on terabytes, it will take data scientists 50 to 80% of the time. Now, why it takes? Because there is a inconsistencies data, not in a proper format. We have to find out the missing value. We have maybe the data is corrupted. So we have to remove the outliers over here. So there's a lot of things we have to perform. So it will take around to be like your 50 to 80% of the time for the processing. The next is over here. We have the next is over here. Uh, Now, the next point is we have a data exploration. Now, what do you mean by the data exploration over here is? So when I'm saying data exploration, over here we are understanding the pattern in the data, retrieving the useful insights, and from the hypothesis. Now, what is the meaning of it? Now, from the previous point, when the data processing is complete, now we have a clean data. Now, from that, we are going to analyze the data. And it's a main brainstorming process because to find out the patterns, fine, to make the histograms for interactive visualization and to get the information about each and every point of the data. From this, we will going to perform the hypothesis and to tackle the problem. Next, we have a modeling. Now over here, what you're going to do is to determine the optimal data features of the machine learning model, to create a model that predicts the target and the most accurately, and evaluate the test and efficiency of the model. And the last, the most important point is deployment. To check the development environment of the deploying the text environment, fine, and the monitor the performance. Fine. So this is what we are discussing about the life cycle of the data science. Now, first is gathering the data, second, data analyzing, then preparing the data. Then we are going to predict analysis over there and the knowledge extraction from it. And then we will going to visualize to analyze the data. Fine. Fine. Now, let's understand some of the important points. types of learning in data science. The first is like artificial intelligence. So when I'm saying artificial intelligence over here is we have one other term is called machine learning and one is called deep learning over here is. Now first let's understand to become a data scientist we have what we have to learn it and how this all are interrelated with each other. As I'm saying, machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence and deep learning is a subset of machine learning. So what is the difference between each other? Let's understand. So when I'm saying over here is suppose there is a father, fine, and he is eating the food, and there is a small kid. So how the father is going to eat? He is going to teach his son how to eat the food. Say, fine. Now this is called machine learning. Now over here, son is understanding how to eat the food. Later on, someday when the child will grow, he's growing. Now the mother is going to give a food. Now the child has to analyze how he has to eat the food. Maybe the last time it was a quantity only one, but this time it will have a four quantities. And he has to analyze what kind of food it is there and how he has to eat. Now it is called deep learning. Fine. In the future, now this child will grow as a father now. Fine. Now tomorrow he's having his own son. Now he's going to teach again to his son how he has to eat, how he has to perform, how he has to stable. That is called artificial intelligence. Fine. To learn all these things, you should be good in mathematics, statistics, visualization, EDA, exploratory data analysis, and you should be good in algorithms part. Fine. Let's see the another concept over here. Now, prerequisite for the data science. So when I'm saying to learn the data science, you have to be good in first in the coding part. So when I'm saying coding, over here you have to learn the Python. Now the question comes, over here, is there any other different languages are there? Yes, you can learn Python, you can learn Java, you can learn R. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give a differentiate between Python and Java to understand why I'm saying why I'm forcing you to move towards the Python side. Let's see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write a code. From the code you will understand which is easy and which is more understandable for you. Fine. So what I will do is first I'm going to write the code with the Java. So I'm making it to understand how to addition of two numbers, yani how to find out the product of two numbers, sum of two numbers. So for that, first what I'm going to do is I'm going to use instance method over here to write your business logic. Fine. Now, so I'll write over here is first public. I will write in Java public void. Public is a modifier, void is a non-return type, and I'm writing M1 is a method names. Fine. Now I'll open it and I'll close it. Now, I need to call a class which can take a dynamic value from it. To get a dynamic value, what I need to do is I need to use a scanner class. S is equals to new. I'm creating an object of class scanner and I'll write over a system dot in. Fine. Now I've got a scanner class over here. Now what I'm going to do is I need to get the value. I need to get the value in the sense I need to get a dynamic value. For that, first I'm going to print in a screen that you have to enter a value. So I'll write copy over here. I'll paste over system.out.println. So I'll write over is enter user value -1. Fine. And then I'll write over here is now when the user will enter the value, I need to store that value. So I will create integer is a data type, a is a variable equals to assignment operator, and I'll write over s dot next int. So I'll take an integer value over here. Now I'll repeat this step. I'll paste over here, and this time I'll write over here is variable b storing into another variable second value, and I'll write over a value 2. Fine. Now then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one again. I'll copy this one and I'll paste and I'll again paste. At this time I'll just give a space over here and I'll say sum of value is, I'll write over here is plus a plus b. Fine. Now as when I'm saying the Java, when I'm going to execute my program, so JVM will create 3 threads. What are the 3 threads? First is create the main thread, thread scheduler, and garbage thread. So when I'm saying the main thread is responsible for executing the main method. But my logic is written outside the main method. Now to invoke this one, first we need to create an object of a class. I will write main m is equals to new main. Now to create an object, there are the 4 ways: by using new keyword, by using instance of operator, by using super keyword, by using this keyword. Fine. Now over here I will write m dot m1. I will call the method over here. Now, let me execute this code and let's check whether it's working or not. So I'll execute this code and it is asking for me. Okay, there's a syntax error over here. I forgot to close this one. Fine. And I'll run again. Okay. I think I've given a 3-1. Sorry. I need to only one. I'll run again. Fine. It is asking the enter of value 1. I'll write over here is 34. Enter. I'll say over here is 56. And when I'm going to enter it, it's showing 90. So sum of the value is 90. The same code. To write the sum of the two values, I have to write minimum around to be 20 lines of the code. The same code when I'm going to write with the Python. Let's understand over here is. So I'll write over here is with the Python, I'll write A is equals to, I'll write over is integer, and I'll write over here is input, and I'll write over here to take a dynamic value, I'll take an input and I'll write enter user value -1. I'll copy this one and I'll write over here is, I'll write 2, I'll write B, and I'll write print sum of value is, I'll write A plus B. Now if I execute this code, please check. I'll write 1.py and it is asking, I'll write 34, I'll write 12, I'll get the sum of the result. Even the same code I can write in a single line. I'll copy this one, I'll paste over here, I'll copy this one, I'll paste over here. I'll check. I'll run 1.py again, I'll write 56, I'll write 78, I'll get 134. So the same code, if I write with Java, it takes around to be 20 lines. But the same code when I'm writing with the Python, it is taking only single line. That's the reason people are moving to the Python, because we have to write a less piece of the code, performance will be high. Over here, the computer has to read 20 lines. Over here, it has to read the 1 line. So when I'm checking the performance wise, I will go with the Python. Now let's come back to the main point. So as I said, you have to learn to become a data scientist. First, you need to understand you have to be good in Python part. Fine. Then with the Python, you have to study the Django framework. Now, this framework, why we need to learn the framework is, so whenever you are going to do a prediction, you need to visualize this data. You need to visualize that data. The way you will do on a website over here. Fine. For that, you need to understand how to develop a website. Even you can visualize with a number of tools, but when you develop a website and you want to, then my website will have a machine learning concept at the behind. So you have to understand how to develop a website concepts. Then you have to understand the arrays. You have to understand the statistics part. You have to be good in data formations part. You have to be good in visualization part. That makes you an EDA, exploratory data analyst, nothing but data analyst part. Fine. After this, you have to go for a machine learning concept where you need to understand two type of concept. One is called supervised learning and unsupervised learning. In the supervised learning, it is divided into regression and classifier. Over here, you have to go for a clustering. Now, this is called a machine learning concepts. In the future, after learning the machine learning, you have to go for a third concept, reinforcement learning. For that, you have to go for a deep learn. Over here, you will cover PyTorch, TensorFlow, NLP, and after this, you will cover CNN, ANN, RN, and to become an artificial intelligence. So it's a long journey. It is not a small, but you have to learn all these things to become an artificial intelligence in the future. Fine, understand the point. Now, let's see one example how data science is related to your life and how it is working. Fine, so I'll go with one example over here. So Netflix. So what basically Netflix is? It's an biggest online video service provider. So when I'm saying biggest online video service provider, what it's doing, it is killing the Hollywood and the Bollywood right now. First, what basically it will do. Now, what Netflix will do behind it runs an algorithm and it analyzes the data. Now, you have an account. How many times you will see which movie and you are searching for which kind of movie, it is recording your small work. So whatever you perform operations over there, it will note down each and every stuff. Fine. Now it will understand which type of series you are looking in a weekdays or weekends. Mostly in the weekdays you are looking for some series, and a weekend you are looking for a movies. Which type of movies and which type of series you are looking, thriller, comedy, and whatever it is noting down each and everything. And from that behind it will run a similarity algorithms to do the prediction, and it will create in the future whenever you are going to log in, it will give you that related stuffs to you. So you will be always stick with the Netflix. Now over here with the second example, I'm going to make you to understand market basket analysis. Now, what is the meaning of market basket analysis? Let's come to the over here the point. So when I'm saying market basket analysis, over here we have a algorithm is called association rule mining and a priori algorithms. Now, for that, what you need to be understand over here is first you have to support the confidence, support, and the lift. Now, I'll go in a depth of this concept and I'll write one algorithm, make you to understand how machine learning works. Let's see over here. First, now, first I'll make you to understand. Suppose over here. Now, suppose you have x variable which is called nothing but called bread, and you have y variable is nothing but called a butter. Fine. Now, if I want to find out the relationship between of one, or I'll say over here is there is a student. How can you say that student is intelligent, non-intelligent? Based on CGPA. What is CGPA? Cumulative grade point average. Now, over here, cumulative grade point average is an educational grading system. It is used in the school and the colleges to measure overall academic performance of the student. Our students are allotted with the grades of like A, B, C, D, or F. Fine or not? On that basis, we can predict now. Now, but to find out the relationship between two over here is when I'm saying over here is x equals to y. I want to understand the relationship between both of them. Now over here we are so over here in CGP also we are dividing two factors. Right. So over here also we are defining in two factors. One is called support and one is called confidence. Fine. Now, how to find out the support? When I'm saying support over here is, I'm saying whatever the LHS side is equals to RHS and upon total number of transactions. Fine. Now, how it is, I'll give you an example. Now, suppose you have T1 product is there and you have X, Y, Z, and then you have a T2. I'm saying X comma Y. I'm having T3 is equals to W. T4, I'll say over here is X. T5 is equals to, I'll say Y comma Z. I'll write T6 is equals to A, B, Z. Fine. I'll write T7 is equals to X comma Y comma B. I'll write T8 is equals to, I'll write X, Z, W. Fine. T9, I'll say over here is A, X, and Z. I'll write T10 is equals to, I'll write Z comma Y. Now, I say you need to find out X with respects to Z. Yani wherever the X and Z are coming together. Fine or not? So I'm going to take out the support value. Now over here, this in this, then we have third. Over here we have X and Z. The first one, I'll do a job. I'll put it over here. Second, third, fourth. This is X and this fifth. So what I'll do is I'll write 5. Suppose. So this is nothing but called 5. So this is LHS is equals to RHS. Fine. So 5 upon total number of transactions. So that is nothing but called 10. It is nothing but 0.5. Understand the point? So in this way, we are going to find out our support value. Now, how to find out the confidence value? To find out the confidence value, what I'm going to do is, over here I will say, the formula says, confidence के लिए we will say LHS is equals to RHS and upon support of LHS. Fine. Now, over here, what is the meaning is, when I'm saying over here is, we need to find out whenever the LHS and RHS, which means over here we have a 5. But, and I'm saying what is the support of LHS, which means how many times this X is coming. So it will be 6 by 10. Understand the point? It is nothing but called 50 upon 6. Clear, guys? So in this way, we are going to find out our support and we are going to find out our confidence. Now let's see this concept in a depth to understand. For a priori algorithm to do a market basket analysis association rules, what we need to be good. The first is you need to be good in person frequent pattern. Frequent pattern. Now when I'm saying the frequent pattern, it is of two types. The first is item sets, and the second is we have sequential pattern. So what do you mean by item set? When I'm saying the item set, now example, I'll say over here is milk, comma, bread. Now we have two things. One is called milk, with one is bread. So what is my prediction is, what I'm saying is I have a data, and from the data I'm analyzing, whenever the people are purchasing the milk, there is 70 to 90% chances that people are purchasing the bread. Fine. Or whenever the people are purchasing the bread, there will be a chances that people can buy a milk. So this is called item sets. Fine. So what is a sequential pattern? The sequential pattern says whenever people will buy a computer, definitely they will buy a antivirus. Now, people will not buy a antivirus first, then they will buy the computer. The first is they will compulsory, they will buy a computer, then only they will buy a antivirus. Now, how it will use in a market basket analysis? Now, example, I know whenever people will buy a milk, definitely there will be a chances they can buy a bread. So I find out from my previous data sets, I will find out there is 80% chances. So what I'm going to do is, whenever people will buy a milk, they will buy a bread. So in my store, I will put milk on the starting of the point and bread on the last of the point. And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to give a discount on the bread, which means whenever the people will buy a milk, so now while seeing the discounts over here, there is a discounts on the bread, so they have to go for a bread. But in this journey, in this path area, I will put number of products. Fine. Now what will happen is, when the person will go, definitely he will pick one or two products from this point. Fine. So my sale will increase. Fine. So whenever people will buy a milk, definitely they will go for bread. So I can increase my sale from 80 to 90%. Fine. Now, but in this case sequence, I know when the people will buy a computer, definitely they will buy a antivirus. So what I will do, I will not give a discount of anything. But what I'm going to do, whenever they will buy a computer or whenever they will buy an antivirus with this combination, I can give a discount on any other product. So what it means, I know definitely when person will buy a computer, he's going to buy a antivirus for it. And with that, if they're going to buy both of them, then we'll give a discount on any other products. Understand the point? That is called market basket analysis. Now let's see the stuff over here. So when I'm saying priori algorithm, when I'm saying priori algorithm over here is to find the association between two objects. To find the association between two objects. When I'm saying bread and milk, to find out to find the association between two objects. Now, what do you mean by the association? Nothing but related. How two objects are strongly related. Now, let's see with an example. I'll go in a depth of it to make you to understand. Then we will write the code of it also. Now, first is support. I'm going to take a minimum support. I'll say about a minimum support for any product. It should be 50%. Fine. And the second point is it's threshold value. I'll say threshold confidence. Threshold confidence should be 70%. Fine. Now for that, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a item product product ID. Fine. So I'll say over here is 101, 201, 301, and 401. Suppose. Now I'll say over here is I'll just minimize all this point. So I'll say over here is items. So what are the items? I'll write over here is 1, 3, 4. I'll write 2, 3, 5. I'll see over here is 1, 2, 3, 5. I'll see over here is 2, 5. Now, this is a one table which I'm having. Example. Now, so first what I'm doing is I'm going to do a case one. Now, in this case one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out the items. What are the total items? So I'm having 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you have 5 items. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out the support for them. So how are we going to take a support? So I'm saying how many times this one will repeat in this total sets. It is 2 times with the total number of observations. So what I will say over here is 2 by, so how much? 1, 2, 3, 4, max is 4. So it will be 50%. Understand the point? Now, similarly for the 2, when I'm saying 2, it will be 3 by 4 is equals to, it will be equal to 75%. Similarly for this one again 3, it will be 3 by 4 is equals to 75. When I'm saying 4, it is only used one time, so I will write 1 by 4 is equals to 25%. And when I'm going for a 5, it is approximately 3. So again, I will write 3 by 4 and it is 75%. So I find out this one is not suitable, which means this pattern is not working. Understand the point? Next. So from here, I'm going to take the items. I'm going to take the item is called 1, 2, 3, and 5. Understand the point? 4 I'm not taking because it is less than my minimum support value. Fine or not? Now, next is we are going to do a perform the pairing of it. I'm writing over here is pairing. Fine. Now, how to perform the pairing is I will write over here is again items. And in items, I'm going to pair of 1 with 2, 1 with 3, and 1 with 4, fine, and 1 with 5. Second is I'm going to take 2 with 3, 2 with 4, and 2 with 5. Then 3 with 4, 3 with 5. Understand the point? This is a pairing. So what I will say over here is 1 with 2, then 1 with 3, then I'll write 1 with 5, and then I'll write over here is 2 with 3, then I'll write 2 with 5, and then I'm going with 3 with 5. Understand the point? Now I'm going to take out again the confidence over here. Now I'm going to understand if this product, the first product and the second product simultaneously if I put, what will be the support count? Understand the point? So first I have taken the individual, then I'm going to take a pair of two. Now over here I will write the first 1 and 2 when the 1 and 2 are occurring over here is. Understand the point? So only one time it occurs. So I will write 1 by 4. It is nothing but 25% chances. 1 by 3, 1 and 3, this one time and two times. So it will be 2 by 4. It is nothing but 50% chances. 1 and 5, so it will be like 1 and 5, again it will be 1. So I'll write 1 by 4 is equals to 25%. Fine. Then I'm saying 2 by 2 and 3, so it is like 2 times. 50% over here is 2 and 5 to 1, 2, and 3. So 3 by 4 is nothing but 75%. Understand the point? And 3 and 5, 2 times, again it's 2 by 4, it is 50%. Now I'll find out, I will choose over here is this one, and this one, and this one, because its minimum support value is 50%. So it is up to 50. This one I can't use because it is less than the minimum support. Fine. Next. Now after two pair, I will give you the triplets. Now over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write over here is items. And I will do a prediction over here is if my product 1, 3, and 5 are placed, or my 1, 2, and 3 are placed, or I'll say over here is 2, 3, and 5 is placed. What is the support count? The support count over here will be, so I'm saying 1, 3, and 5. So it is only coming one time. So it will be 1 by 4 is equals to 25%. And when I'm saying over here 1, 2, 3, so 1, 2, 3, and sorry 2, 3, 5. Sorry 2, 3, 5, 2, 3, 5. It is two times. So I will come to over here 1, 2, 3. It is also one time. It is also 25%. And this is called 2 by 4 is equals to 50%. Fine. So from there, the last one I'm going to find out if these three products are there, at least it is reaching to the minimum support value. Fine. Now this 2, 3, 5, how many times it is occur? It is occurring two times. So this is my support. Fine. Now I am going to generate, now from this point I'm going to generate one my association rules. Now how it will be my association rules. So first I'm saying over here is rules. Fine. So I'm saying when the 2 and 3 are placed with 5, so what is the support over here is 2. Fine. When I'm saying over here is 3 and 5, when it will be placed, then with the 2, what will the support over here is 2. Fine. Now we will find out from this, we will going to find out their support values. And if you want to go with the confidence over here is, I will write the formula is support of A, union B upon support of A. So what is A over here is? A is nothing but 2 with 3, fine. And I'm saying and 5, and the value is 2, 3. So what is the support over here is 2. And how many times it occurs? It's occurred 2 times. So it will be 1, nothing but 100%. Understand the point? So if I take all the values and examine, suppose for the first one over here is when I'm going to take this pattern, if I'm going to take it, whatever the values are more than 70%, which is crossing the threshold confidence, that pattern only will be selected for selling the product. Understand the point? This is the way for finding out the association rules. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to write the same code, same thing with the coding with machine learning concepts. Let's understand the part over here. So I'll go with this. I'll delete all these things, and I'll come to my point over here is okay. Now the first thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to understand first. I'm going to import some libraries. I will write over here is import libraries. Over here first I'm going to import import. I said through the array formation, data formation, I will write over a numpy as np. Now I'll write over here import pandas as pd, fine. And for the visualization I'll write import matplotlib dot pyplot as plt, and I'm going to enter it to check whether I'm going to these libraries are imported or not. Yes, there is no error, it is imported. Now then what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the data. Fine or not? Read the data. Now how to read the data? I will write over here is data, or I'll write data set. Is it easy to understand? Data. I'll write over is pd dot read underscore csv bracket. Now I have already I'm having one dataset file over here. Is the dataset file is market basket optimizations. So I'll copy this name and I'll write over here is, and this is in CSV format. So I will write over here dot CSV. Fine. And I'm going to print over here is data set. And when I'm going to enter it, now I'm getting all the data sets over here. Fine. Now what I'm going to do is in this data sets, I'm getting some over here is like header part. I don't require this header part. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this data again, and I don't require the header part. So I will write over here is header header is equals to none, and then I'm going to enter it. Now there is no header part over here. It's given a count. Now next is, so I'm able to read my data. Next, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to visualize this data. So for that I will write over here is I'm going to take over here is I'll take one value over here is I'll say over here is trans trans is equals to, I'll write over here is, and I'll write for I'll take a loop I in range of, I'll take 0 comma before this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to check this length of this my data set. I'll write over this length of my data set 751. So I'll write over here is 7501, fine. And then I'll write over here is I'll write trans. I'm going to arrange this data into a list format. I'll write dot append and append is used to add the data in the list, and then I will say over here is str, and it's a to convert the data into the string structure format. Now I will write over here is data set dot values values with the indexes called like over here is I comma and the j. Now from where this j is coming, let's understand the part over here is. So I'll write over here is for j in range of 0 to 20. So all the like columns value which I'm getting over here is, and then I'll write over here is, and I'm going to enter it to check whether it's working or not. Yeah, it's working absolutely fine. All our data is stored into the list format over there. Now I am going to training a query for my data sets. So I will write over here is train a priori uh, on the data set. So for that, what I will do, I will write first. I need to invoke that one. I will write from APYORI, sorry, import. I'll write import APRIORI. Yeah, I think it's there. Just let me check over here. Yeah, absolutely fine. This is like now. From that, what I will do is I will write over here is I'll take rules. It's a variable name is equals to. I'll take this name. Now I'll take this name, I'll put it over here, and then I will say over here is I'll give it trans, trans, trans. I'll write comma minimum hyphen underscore support minimum support. I make it to understand in the starting. It should be over here is 0.003. I'll write comma minimum confidence is equals to. I'll write 0.2, and I'll write over here is comma min underscore one is called one more pedal left is equals to. I'll write over is 3 comma and min underscore length 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 is equals to. I'll give over here is 2 only. Now when I'm going to run over here, uh, now it is working. There is no problem in this case. Fine. Now I will write over here rules, and let's check how many patterns it has made it for me. It is saying okay, yeah, it is coming over here. It's fine. Now object is created, everything is fine. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to write over here is I'm going to take as the result results is equals to list of rules rules, and then I will write over here is now first I'll execute this one and then this one. Now let's check over here. It is working. It is executing. Yeah. Now I get a pattern over here is. Now when I'm going to purchase one product over here is I'm finding out the mineral water, what is the support ratio over here, what is the like confidence over here is, what's the lift value over here is. Now to see in the more easiest way, what I'm going to do is first I'm going to check out what is the length over here is, how much pattern this is RESULTS results when I'm doing ULTS results when I'm checking. Okay, it is going to find out 2263 patterns. It has find out for me. Now what I'm going to do is how to check this patterns of points. So first what I will do is I will write over here is I will create a variable association rules is equals to. I'll write RESULTS results. Fine. Now I'll say over here is I'll copy this one and I'll paste over here and I'll say 0 index value when I'm going to run. Yeah, the first index value is coming over here. Now what I'm going to do is I'll write a basic Python code over here for I'll write item in session rules. I'll write over here first. So what I'm going to do is I'll write first index. I'll write first index of the inner list. Fine. I'm going to find the first index. So I will write over here is one variable is called pair. I'll write is equals to, and I'll write item and I'll write over here is 0 index value, and then I'll write over here is item is equals to. I'll write over here is x for x in pair. Fine. Now I'm going to take out the value and I'll write print, and in this print I will write over here is code rules. I'm going to take out the rules and I'm going to write over here is plus, because all is in the string format, so I will write items, and the items I will give us 0 index position plus I'll write double code. I'll write over here is again I'll write plus, and I'll say I want the index position of 1 over here. So I'll copy this one and I'll paste, it will be 1 over here. Fine. Now when I'm going to execute this code, let's check what here is. Okay, item is not defined. Uh, so I'll write a for item. This is the one. Sorry, I return over here with items. The mistake over here is list out of range. I just need to save this part over here. It is just a moment. I'll check over here is items over here. The zero index value. I'll have I'll just differentiate over here is I'll write over here as items and I'll mention over the items to understand the part over here. So get confused over here is so it is saying list index out of range. So I'm getting an error over here is the 0 and 1. But when I'm finding out the 0, it is showing me the 0 value over here. Um, I'll do a job. I'll check over here is only with the 0 over here. Just a moment. I'll remove this one. Yeah. So it is giving me all the item details over here is chocolate over here, whatever the products of items we have. And what I'm going to do is the rules I'll say over here is index, copy this one and rules. I'll write over here is 1. So it is saying over here is I need to add this value also. Index out of range. How it is possible? Just a moment. I did some mistake over here. So why it is not taking? I'm taking over here is 0 pattern items, and then I'm going to take over here is just a moment. Okay, there is a small mistake I did over here is finding the interest pattern over here is item 0 index pair 9 pair, and I'm retrieving over here next. I'm storing items, then the rules. Fine, over here it is not working. I need to check over here at this point. So then what I'm going to do is in this case only I'll write uh, print and I'll write SUPPORT support, and I'll write over here is plus over here, and I'll write string. I'll convert into a string. I'll write over as item, and I'll write over here is 1 over here. Yeah, so over here I'm able to find out for mineral water what is the support value, and similarly for this I can find out the confidence over here, and I can find the lift ratio over here. So in this case what I'm understanding is if I want to find out the patterns, so it will arrange a patterns for me which product will go with which one, and how suppose I'm thinking over here is almonds will go with the chocolates over here or frozen sets over here. So we are understanding the different like patterns are coming out. So people are buying the almonds with the milk. What is support ratio over here? It is so these are the patterns which we have discussed in the like theory part, and we are writing the code over here to understand the market basket analysis. Fine. So let's come to the again this part over here is which I was discussing this stuff. So these things we have performing with the code over here is like how the customer will go, and whenever we are selling any product, how we will know that what kind of product the store has to keep and how many people will come and how to increase the efficiency of that product when the people will come and buy. So thank you guys. Have a good day. Anyone's in having any questions regarding any stuff, please they can discuss in the chat box over here.